Prepare to be shaken to your core by what this CCTV footage captured on September 16, 2016. At first glance, it's a heartwarming sight, a little girl innocently playing. But what happens next will chill you to the bone. Her doll, sitting beside her, moves on its own, its head tilting sideways. The girl remains oblivious, but the atmosphere grows increasingly eerie. Four days later, terror strikes again. As the girl does her homework, papers are flung as if by an unseen hand. She flees in fear, returning only to witness objects flying off the table and the table itself moving on its own. It's undeniable. There are ghosts among us. Another little girl was caught on camera walking to a door at 3:30 a.m. She looked scared and lost, trying to get into the house. She knocked, but no one answered. Just as she was about to look around the door, a voice came from nowhere, making her run away. She was clearly terrified and needed help, but no one was there to save her.
This was at around 3:30 in the morning. A few people have said they can see someone lurking in the dark behind her, but I don't see anything.
Motion detected.
This home security camera caught a man coming to the doorstep in broad daylight to pick up something left by the entrance of a house. As he walked away, he suddenly turned back and took a pumpkin. Strangely, he dropped the pumpkin by the road and kept walking. This creepy behavior makes you wonder why he took the pumpkin only to leave it behind. What did he really want? And why did he act so strange?
If you want to steal the package, fine. But what the hell did the pumpkin do to you?
It is not particularly clear why there should be a camera in the bedroom, but in any case, this one captured something worth watching. In the video, a couple were sleeping on the bed, and it was all peaceful at first. But then, three banging sounds echoed in the dead of night. The lady immediately woke up and looked around. As the banging continued, she desperately tried without success to wake up her partner, but the man seemed to have left Earth's atmosphere as he didn't even stir, despite the lady's voice piercing through the blanket of silence enveloping the night.
Open the door. Aren't you waking up? Baby, wake up! Wake up! Baby. Wake up! Wake up!
A hotel surveillance camera caught the overnight guard making gestures in the empty lobby. He was the only one seen on the camera. The guard was talking to someone not visible on the camera. He didn't know he was talking to a ghost. He thought it was a returning guest.
He thought he was talking to a returning customer, but when he found out who that was, this happened. An overnight security guard was recorded interacting with someone or something we can't see.
Who is he talking to? Dispatch to 329? Yes, sir. Who are you talking to?
Using his walkie-talkie, The security manager asked if he was okay and who he was talking to. The guard said he was with a lady named Miss Abigail, whom he met earlier while checking on Mr. Gremlin. But Miss Abigail died 2 years ago. The security manager told him this and said no one was with him on the camera. Terrified, the guard quickly retreated.
Are you sure you're saying Miss Abigail? Like, she's been passed on for 2 years now. Miss Abigail is... she...
A woman returned home from an outing. She looked tired but managed to open the door and get inside. She didn't know she was being followed. Before she could close the door, a man suddenly grabbed the knob, forcing his way in, followed by another attacker. The woman let out a brief, chilling scream, which was quickly silenced, hinting she was brutally injured or unalived. The attackers then fled the scene. The home security camera by the door caught this terrifying moment.
Vamos pra fora. Don't move. Don't stare. Don't.
Footage shows a woman escaping an attack from an unknown man who chased her to her apartment in New York. Terrified, she fumbled with her keys while trying to open her door. The man had followed her from the street, trying to catch her before she got inside. He was unlucky. Even at her door, he was seen begging her to open it. What he wanted is unknown, but the scene is terrifying. Luckily, the woman wasn't caught.
Woman just escapes a man chasing her to her apartment. A woman from New York was terrified as she fumbled with her keys trying to open the door.
On October 17, 2012, this spine-tingling video surfaced, shedding light on what seems to be a haunted house. The man recording has encountered peculiar occurrences in his home before.
Okay, it's like the middle of the day. I'm the only person in the house, and just heard some footsteps going up and down the stairs.
As he approaches a door emitting deafening noises, he hesitates before cautiously opening it, only to find emptiness. The noise then relocates to the bathroom, but upon investigation, the man finds nothing amiss. It's as if the noise is playing tricks on him, moving downstairs. Despite being alone in the house, the unsettling sounds persist, leaving him baffled and terrified.
Hello?
Here is another home security footage capturing an eerie scene. The doorbell camera showed a woman alone in the lobby, trying to get the homeowner to open the door, claiming she wanted to help. She said she noticed the homeowner's grass wasn't standard and brought some from her own apartment. She mentioned watching the homeowner come in from the store and being so worried about the grass that she could wait until they finished showering.
I know you came in because I just watched you. I watched you come in from the store. Hello. I'd like to let you know about the grass. I brought some of my own on the ground. I put it to you. I could slide it on the floor if you want. You know what? I don't have a lot to do today, so you can hang here if you want. If you want me to. You might have gotten in the shower, but
But her words didn't make sense. She said the grass was bluish in color. She said she hadn't slept because of the grass. Her husband thought her sleeplessness was due to wind chimes, but she insisted it was the grass. She then started singing, "You Are the Apple of My Eye," followed by eerie laughter from the room.
You are the apple of my eye.
In this eerie footage, a strange man approached the door and started peering through the camera. It was clear he knew about the camera as he smirked at it. He lingered for a few unsettling seconds before walking away. His unsettling gaze would have sent chills down the spine of the homeowners. In her own kitchen, this woman had an encounter she'd rather forget. She was wrapping up her tasks, putting things away. Out of nowhere, the ladder behind her slides partway down. She moves to fix it, but suddenly it slips completely, crashing to the floor. Startled, she steps back, then gathers the courage to lift the ladder upright, adjusting its position. But as she's about to leave, the waste bin spins and topples over on its own. Terrified, she flees the kitchen without a second thought. Imagine waking up to a ghostly figure gazing straight at you. That's exactly what happened to a man from Argentina one morning. He received an alert from his backyard camera and decided to investigate. What he saw was nothing short of bone-chilling. A figure dressed in a white robe, its face obscured, staring directly into the camera. What's more, it appeared to be crying. The CCTV in the house captured more than one paranormal activity. In one of the videos, the man was with his partner and their pet cat when an object on the table moved on its own from one side to another. But aside from the cat, no one noticed it. In another piece of footage, the man was with his dog and cat watching television when yet another paranormal movement interrupted him. There was a cup on the table with a spoon in it. The spoon suddenly moved to face the other direction. This time the man was clearly aware, and the surprise was evident on his face. In the last footage, there was no one in the living room, unlike the last two times. But paranormal activities are no respecter of a person's presence or absence. Objects on the shelf suddenly fell off as if an invisible hand pushed them from behind the shelf. The man came out seconds later, wondering what happened. Some videos are so terrifying, just seeing them might make you pass out, and this is one of them. This guy's CCTV camera caught something really strange in his living room. He's sound asleep on the couch, while his black cat seems uneasy, pacing around as if sensing something wrong. Suddenly, there's a flash of light, moving around like someone's playing with a flashlight. The room's lights start flickering, and the poor cat keeps meowing, perhaps trying to rouse its owner from his slumber. The man must have been genuinely shocked or scared when he saw this footage. The doorbell camera captured a woman and her child entering their apartment late at night, unaware of a strange man following them. Once inside, the woman quickly locked the door, but the man reached it seconds later, trying to open it. Alerted, the woman demanded to know who was there, but the man stayed silent. Undeterred, she bravely ordered him to leave. Still, he lingered.
Who is that? Get out of here! Get out of here! There's a guy outside, look!
In this chilling footage, the homeowner adjusts a security camera in the bedroom before bed, hoping to uncover the source of mysterious nighttime disturbances. Once done, he joins his wife in bed and extinguishes the lights. At 4:27 a.m., the wardrobe door swings open on its own, and the lamp beside the bed crashes to the floor. It's not the wind, the room is too calm, but the camera catches a dark figure quickly retreating from beneath the bed after the lamp falls. In the dead of night, a man and his girlfriend left their house. Moments later, a masked figure with a frightening presence appeared at the door. He pounded on it, desperate to gain entry. Clutching a shawl as if carrying a baby, he feigned distress, hoping to manipulate the homeowners. Unable to open the door, he resorted to peering through the windows, seeking an opportunity.
10 minutes after we left, this random person showed up with what we thought was a baby in their arms. Then they started running into the door to try and open it.
But his deceit was exposed. There was no baby in the shawl. Frustrated, he flung it aside, resorting to violent attempts to breach the house. He pounded the door and windows, then grabbed a chair, hurling it at the glass in a desperate bid to force his way inside.
What you're about to see will shock you, like it did me. They started throwing it back on my porch.
In broad daylight, clueless burglars were captured on camera breaking into a home. They sneaked into the yard through the fence, 2 of them working together. One struggled with the window while the other kept watch. Eventually, the second man joined in, both using tools to force the window open. They wore regular clothes, their faces exposed, showing they didn't fear being seen. Their only concern was their task. In the end, they succeeded in breaking the window and gaining entry to the house. In this chilling video, a woman stepped out of her house to retrieve clothes from the line. Unaware, a sinister creature watched her every move. As she emerged, the light flickered off briefly, then returned in a sudden flash. Unfazed, she carried on with her task, but as she returned indoors, the home security camera captured a terrifying sight. A ghostly figure lurking on the other side of the fence, shrouded in a white veil. On a dark, spooky night, a bunch of kids were alone at home having fun and playing around innocently. Suddenly, a wave of horror crashed over them as a ghostly figure materialized at the doorway, making them scream and bolt in terror. Another bone-chilling night, the children thought it was safe to play again. But out of nowhere, one of them was yanked across the floor by something they couldn't see. Terrified, they all ran to the bathroom, leaving their friend struggling against an invisible force, fighting for her life. On a cold, dark night in April 2023, a lone homeowner was saved by the vigilance of their Ring doorbell and cameras.
Around 10 p.m., a man in a red jacket and another person just behind him are shown walking up to the house's front door.
2 cameras stood guard over the house, one at the entrance and another on the side. As the night wore on, the side camera captured eerie footage. A figure cloaked in red, with another lurking in black, approached the front door. The hour was late, the darkness thick. With a sudden burst of aggression, the figure in red attempted to force their way inside, while their accomplice kept watch, but the door stood firm against their violent onslaught. In the struggle, the Ring camera tumbled to the ground with a chilling clatter, yet still the door refused to yield. The unsettling noise roused the homeowner from their sleep, heart pounding with fear. Frantically, they checked the cameras, their eyes widening in terror as they saw the intruders. Sensing movement inside, the would-be invaders fled into the night. Summoning the courage, the homeowner contacted the authorities, leading to the capture of one of the perpetrators.
Eager was enough to scare the 2 men off. Police were called out to the property. When they reviewed the footage, they noted that one of the men was armed.
In 2015, A couple in San Jose, California, faced a terrifying ordeal when their home was invaded by unknown intruders who vanished without a trace.
2 men wearing black clothes climb a fence into the backyard, where they're shown finding an unlocked sliding glass door.
Following the harrowing incident, the police advised the couple to install home security cameras to safeguard their home against future threats. Taking heed of the warning, they invested in 6 different cameras placed strategically around their property. Then, on May 8th of the same year, their worst fears were realized as another break-in occurred, captured in chilling detail by their newly installed cameras.
They walk inside and immediately go into the kitchen. One of them is seen disconnecting a phone sitting on the counter.
The footage revealed 2 shadowy figures clad in black scaling the backyard fence, slipping into the house through an unlocked sliding glass door. Their ominous presence loomed as they made their way stealthily through the kitchen. One of the intruders brazenly disconnected a phone on the counter while they rifled through cabinets and drawers, arming themselves with kitchen knives. With blades glinting in the dim light, they dashed upstairs, their intent ominous and foreboding. As they combed through the rooms, one of the men paused at a locked door, beyond which lay the master bedroom. Straining to listen, he was greeted by the haunting sound of a baby's cries.
Family friend named Rosie and the 2 homeowners' child. Rosie was babysitting for them when the intruders entered the home.
Inside the room was Rosie, a family friend watching the homeowner's child when intruders barged in. Hearing the cries, the man warned his partner about the intruders, but instead of leaving, they aggressively kicked the door and stabbed knives through a hole they made.
They set up a total of 6 different cameras around their house. Then, on May 8th of that same year, these cameras would capture a second break-in.
Rosie took the child and hid in the bathroom, locking the door and calling the police. The men fled when they heard her scream. Police couldn't identify the men from the footage. Their true intentions are unclear. They cut the phone lines, armed themselves with kitchen knives, and tried to break down the door instead of leaving immediately.
She screamed out that she called the police. This would work. The men finally started running away before they could fully break into the bedroom.
This chilling home security footage reveals 2 figures, clad in white, approaching a house in Richmond, armed and ready. Little do they know, 2 more lurk in the shadows beside the entrance. With menacing masks, they knock, and within moments, the door creaks open. But as it does, the 2 figures retreat, revealing the hidden pair. One brandishes what seems to be a shotgun, the other a rifle.
Footage shows 2 suspects. They walk up to a home and knock on the door. Seconds later, the door opens and 2 other suspects run around the corner.
The homeowner slams the door shut, but the attackers persist, trying to force their way in before finally fleeing into the night. The police suspect something more sinister than a random break-in.
Holding what appears to be a shotgun, the other a rifle. The person inside the home slams the door shut and the suspects take off.
In the terrifying surveillance footage, a lone night guard patrols, his movement suggesting he's not alone. Gesturing into the darkness, he seems to be acknowledging an unseen presence. The security feed captures him waving to someone unseen, referring to them as a lost lady.
He sees someone we can't see.
Before opening the door for this spectral visitor. Moments later, as he waits for the elevator, terror grips him, sending him fleeing from the building. Whatever he encountered remains a mystery, but it's clear he's encountered something beyond the living.
He runs off the building after the horrifying realization.
In the unsettling doorbell footage, a strange man looms, peering into the house with an unsettling gaze. His intentions remain unclear. This man, Stephen, knocks, prompting a response from a female voice inside. He inquires about someone named Fifi, but the voice denies any knowledge, claiming he's mistaken.
What, are you looking for Stephen?
No, I am Stephen. I'm looking for, Fifi.
Growing more aggressive, Stephen boldly propositions the lady for intercourse despite the late hour, but her calm reply sends chills. Her husband is armed and waiting in the living room. Stephen swiftly retreats.
My husband's in the living room with the gun.
Huh. Okay.
Have a good
Understood.
night.
This woman is alone in her kitchen, innocently preparing a meal. The security camera captures her solitude, yet something scary unfolds behind her. As she turns, a sudden movement catches her eye, compelling her to investigate. To her horror, an unseen force drags a cloth hanger to the ground. Frozen in fear, she watches as it continues to move. Summoning courage, she repositions the hanger, but her unease lingers. Completing her tasks, she heads towards the living room, only to be startled by another disturbance. This time, it's the dustbin being moved by the mysterious force. Terrified, she flees, leaving behind the kitchen and its unexplained phenomena. In this spine-chilling footage, we witness a couple fast asleep in their bed, oblivious to the darkness that surrounds them. Suddenly, the TV beside the window flickers to life, its glow piercing the room. Yet, no intruders lurk in the shadows. The tension mounts as the TV switches on and off of its own accord, casting eerie shadows across the room. This next video shows a very big anomaly. In it, we see two people sleeping peacefully at night, one on a higher bed, facing up. Everything seems normal, but if you look closely, a flickering light can be seen entering the chest of one of the sleepers.
Someone goes into my chest, right into me. And then like a minute later, it comes bouncing out of me.
Then, a few seconds later, the same light emerged from the chest and went back out the way it came. It is hard to tell what really happened, but people in the comments of the video speculated that those were two spirits. Others speculate that the light that entered and exited was the person's spirit, going and returning.
Yep.
There it goes, right out of my chest.
Yeah, there it goes. Wow. Yep. That's what it was.
On April 9th, 2023, a chilling scene unfolded on a home security camera in Mexico, suggesting a terrifying burglary attempt. A peculiar woman, her appearance unsettling, approaches the door clutching a jumble of keys. With an eerie determination, she tries to unlock the door, her actions betraying a disturbing sense of purpose. While the homeowner slumbers unaware, the woman persists in her futile attempts to gain entry. Her demeanor hints at a mind clouded by unknown influences. The next morning, the homeowner, shaken by what they witnessed on the footage, finds themselves face to face with the unsettling reality of a stranger attempting to invade their sanctuary.
The homeowner was sleeping when the clip was recorded. It wasn't until he woke up and saw a notification on his phone that he found out about it. He reviewed the footage, horrified. This is what he saw. A woman is shown trying multiple different keys to get into the house and even looking around for a hidden one.
A homeowner set up a security camera at their doorway, high on the ceiling. The camera captures a terrifying sight: 3 armed burglars attempting to break in. Their sinister intent is clear from their strange tools. Despite their efforts, they struggle to gain entry. One even resorts to using his weapon to force the door open with his leg, but to no avail.
Yeah, even before the guy can basically puts out his head, he's already detected.
This spine-chilling video shows an eerie sight: an old woman shrouded in darkness attempting to break into a home. Armed with a knife, she desperately tries to force the door open. Thankfully, the door remains steadfastly locked, a reminder of the importance of always securing your home. Had she succeeded, the consequences could have been dire. With her menacing weapon, the safety of the homeowners would have been in grave jeopardy. As the couple settles into bed, the camera captures their nightly routine. The wife rubs her body while the husband tends to bathroom tasks before joining her.
The following video shows a couple who are getting ready for bed. Downright terrifying is caught on camera.
Suddenly, their peaceful night turns into a nightmare. The duvet is yanked away by an unseen force, jolting them awake. The husband investigates but is met with an attack, prompting them to flee the room in terror. But the horror doesn't end there. As they escape, the curtains sway and the wardrobe ominously opens. Desperate to escape, they struggle with the door, only to be met with further terror. A chair hurtles towards them, and the TV crashes to the floor. Eventually, they manage to flee, but the strange occurrences persist. This footage is enough to send shivers down your spine. A young child stands before a mirror, seemingly delighted by his own reflection. But as he turns away, the eerie begins. His reflection lingers, refusing to mimic his movements. Instead, its eyes darken, giving it a sinister appearance. Is this child merely a ghostly apparition, or something far more terrifying?
Watch the kid in the mirror.
Prepare to be petrified by this bone-chilling footage. Captured on camera, a creature emerges, casting doubt on its humanity, leaning more towards the demonic. This eerie being, with the semblance of a woman, sits ominously by a fence, her long hair shrouding her face. But it's her eyes, turned white, and the grotesque movements of her mouth and tongue that truly terrify. The observer, gripped by fear, flees for their life, desperate to avoid an encounter with this malevolent entity.